Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing very well on this fine Thursday night. It is Thursday, isn't it?
It is Thursday. It doesn't feel like a Thursday.
It doesn't feel like a Thursday. It feels... Yeah, it does. But listen, hope you're all doing very well. Hope you've all hit the like button on the stream and you're subscribed if you're new around here. We're going to have a conversation on this stream about a few things. I want to talk about the blue card things being introduced. And then, of course, the title of the stream is Man City accused of cheating again. I actually had this conversation, did this kind of conversation last night with Joe on the late night chat podcast over my personal channel. But I actually found it to be a really enjoyable conversation. And I want to get the opinions of you guys over here in the City Extra community chat. Of course, Martin is always big up for joining us, and Jody Porty as well. Man City accused of cheating. A lot of people be like, what are we being accused of now? It actually has nothing to do with the 115, believe it or not. This is a new thing, and it kind of stems from the multi-club ownership. And it really has come to light since the Savio, here we go, from Girona to Manchester City. I saw a number of fairly credible media outlets, football content creators saying, oh, this shouldn't be allowed. There's nothing dodgy about this. A player who's owned by Troyes, owned by CFG, playing on loan at Girona, owned by CFG, ultimately going to Manchester City, and people trying to conspiracize how Manchester City can pluck players from clubs that they're the parent club of. We're going to talk about it. In short, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly legal, but let's dive into the ins and outs of it. And I also I showed a list last night on my own stream that I'm going to get up now again. There's actually so many more clubs around the world, lads. You wouldn't even realize that are multi-club ownerships. Off the top of my head, you've got Bournemouth, you've got West Ham, PSG, and Nottingham Forest on Olympiacos as well. There's so many. But I suppose, Martin, Manchester City, in my opinion, get the negative connotation on multi-club ownership simply because we're successful and people don't like to see us doing well.
It's another rock to throw. It's another rock because their clubs can't do what we do. It baffles me because what was it? Was it only about 4 months ago that they had a vote on this because of Newcastle and the Saudi Arabia PIF situation?
Yep.
So why 4 months ago it got voted okay, as long as it was a fair market value? But now when we do it, it's cheating again.
Yeah.
Is it just blame City for everything?
Yeah.
Are we just a club that gets blamed for rain, hail, snow, wind, whatever? Do you know, if Everton get relegated, it'll be City's fault. It's getting, sorry, it baffles me. It's like the Alvarez stuff. City, other clubs can buy these players. We're not breaking the fourth wall. We're not giving you behind the scenes information here. I don't get it. It really does baffle me. Like I said, when I talk about the blue card, that'll be our fault next because it's blue. The wrong shade of blue, so we get 117 thrown at us. It's a load of, it's just, sorry. And I wouldn't even mind, it's going to be looked at. Didn't James Ducker say it was going to be looked at to be fair market value anyway?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we breaking here?
I think a lot of it stems from jealousy, if I'm being totally honest, that we have built it's perfectly legal. There's nothing illegal about multi-club ownership, because if it was illegal, we wouldn't own 13, 14 clubs worldwide right now. And it's become, in my opinion, a revolutionary method of generating revenue. It's an investment at the end of the day. When the CFG buy a new club or majority ownership of a new club, it is an investment. It's to generate revenue for the club we are parenting, and of course the CFG as an organization. But then another one of the primary reasons as to why we began the multi-club ownership was so that we would have first reserve and first dibs on any exciting talent that emerges from these clubs. So I don't know why people are acting shocked when Girona, who are having, in my opinion, a Leicester-esque season, no one expected them. They were in a lower division not so long ago to be up where they are, that their more quality players are, gaining interest from us, who are obviously paying a lot of attention to them because we own that club. Now, obviously, Cheeky and Ferran Soriano, when they were in power at Barcelona, they wanted to bring this model to Barcelona, I'm fairly sure. They wanted to bring the multi-club ownership to make a Barcelona football group, or whatever way you want to call it. But Barcelona is obviously a fan-owned club. I'm not entirely sure if it still is, but it was at the time. And the vote ruled that they would not go down this route. This was one of the reasons why Ferran Soriano and Cheeky left Barcelona. They bring this model to Manchester City. It's hyper successful. Many clubs are trying to replicate it. So the contradiction I find really interesting is when people call us cheaters, but also want to replicate it. So what, you want to replicate cheaters? You see Todd Bowley with Chelsea has expressed interest in making a Chelsea football group, a CFG, if you will. Amanda Staveley obviously helped Sheikh Mansour take over Manchester City. I've no doubt that she would like to make a Newcastle football group, or whatever name they want to call it on that. So why is everyone trying to be like Manchester City but hate on us for when it's working?
I mean, I said this exact thing with Steve last night on the Big Steve show, that like Newcastle, I think, will be next in the search for a CFG, given the fact that when Amanda Staveley helped Newcastle, the owners take over Newcastle, she organised a tour around City's facilities to see the ins and outs of that and how it's working.
Spent a week, didn't she? It was a full week she spent down there.
It's a full week, because City clearly have a good relationship with her, because obviously she was the person. I think she worked at Barclays at the time. She helped Sheikh Mansour buy Manchester City, so she's I think City are very open with another club doing what City have done. I think they're very open to the idea. Oh, you want to do a CFG? Buzzing. You can come look at our facilities, the way that we run things, and that's what they did. And so I think they'll try and run that just like we are, but it doesn't make us. But we've created a model of something that it should be wanted to replicate it. Like, look how well the CFG is working for us. If a player doesn't make it for Manchester City, they're going on and making it somewhere else, and it's just giving us money. We've got a genuine full revenue from selling our academy players, because these academy players that we're using, like, yes, some of them don't make it. Some of them, like, do you know what I mean, end up being just like standard players, like, do you know what I mean, championship, whatever it is, whatever level they be at. But a lot of these players are out there doing bits. Look at the Premier League's literally littered with ex-City players. We've just got more money for Morgan Rogers going. Do you know what I mean? It's wild, the CFG, of how it's making Manchester City money, and I don't understand why we get branded as cheats for that. Like, we shouldn't. We're not going to like these clubs and getting like some dodgy deal where we pay like £1 for a player who's worth £40 million. If that was happening, I could see why loads of people would be fuming. If we're just going, yeah, we'll take them off you. We're not. We have to pay what the player's worth still. It's just that we own that club. Yeah. I don't get it. I genuinely have no idea why there's such outrage. It happened when James Trafford went to Burnley. People were all saying this is unfair. It happened when Cole Palmer went to Chelsea. It's happened with Gavin Bazunu when he went to Southampton. Romeo Lavia. You know what I mean? People just, they look at the price of this player going to another club and go, he's not even played for City, barely even played in the Prem. How should he be going for this?
What about Aaron Moy? And that was
Aaron Moy.
Worse.
That is worse.
He never put a blue shirt on.
No, we
made like 12 million out of him.
We bought Melbourne and sold Aaron Moy for more money than what we bought Melbourne for. We made our money on Melbourne like that just because of Aaron Moy. It's wild.
I don't get it. Do Do you know what it is? It's because the 115 are there.
Yeah,
it's another thing to hit us over the head with.
Yeah,
we're
a bit
lovely to see. No, it's what it is. It's another excuse to bitch at us and complain and have a go. Because your club is run like a thrift store in a side alley. Ain't our fault. Stop blaming us because your owners are crap.
It's wild.
I don't get it. And by the way, we might not even keep this guy. It's been widely reported we're going to have a look in pre-season.
Yeah.
And
So
he might go back out on loan.
Yeah, he's basically getting assessed when he comes in and then see what he's like in training. If
we're
not,
not saying we're not dropping 60 mil here and going in you come. We don't know what's going to happen. So we can't win if we buy Kimmich. We can't win if we buy a 19-year-old. Do they want us just to go away? But you know what it is? They want us just to go away.
Yeah.
Because we're a threat. Because they can't win anything while we are here.
They also can't fathom City being legitimate in any sense.
I was reading a report last night from a Barcelona newspaper, clearly one of the Barcelona puppet journalists, and he was stating that Savio's primary transfer was to Barcelona, that he really wanted to go to Barcelona, and then City flexed their CFG muscles and went in and said, no, you're coming to us, and stopped it. It was kind of Barcelona trying to put a negative connotation on our CFG. There's quite clearly from not just fans that we deal with on a week-to-week basis, but throughout Europe, there's a real bitterness towards Manchester City and the model and the empire we've built. It is a true footballing empire that's showing sustainability. It's showing it generates revenue. The margins are fantastic, and everybody seems to work well. It benefits every single club in the program, if that makes sense. I've got a list here, the list I was speaking about. I'm going to read off some of these and see what you guys think, and were you aware of these ones? And it just kind of gives you an idea that this model is not something Manchester City invented or found a loophole in any rules and regulations to make a reality. You've got Bill Foley with Bournemouth and Lorient. You've got Aston Villa and Vitoria Sport Club. As I said, Nottingham Forest and Olympiacos. I mean, Olympiacos are a huge club in Greece, owned by the same as Nottingham Forest. Watford and Udinese, owned by Gino Pozzo. You got West Ham and Sparta Prague, owned by the same group. You've got Crystal Palace and Augsburg, owned by the same group. You've got AC Milan and Toulouse. PSG and Braga. Braga, obviously a big club in Portugal. Then you've got the Red Bull Group is obviously the big one that I wanted to bring in. People have kind of praised the Red Bull Group in many senses, saying, wow, this is amazing what they're doing. And, they've got Salzburg, they've got Leipzig, they've got New York Red Bulls. I believe they're part of the Red Bull Group as well. Like, they are open and honest about them using their group, their Red Bull Group, as a form of an academy, if that makes sense, all building up towards Leipzig, that the best of Salzburg and New York and whoever else will make their way to Leipzig. Haaland was meant to be that. Haaland was meant to be the first big Red Bull brand superstar, obviously from Salzburg. They wanted to get him to Ralf Rangnick's Leipzig, and then Mino Raiola and Alfie Haaland said, no, he's gone to Dortmund. But that was the process that was meant to be. You don't see any shade really being put on Red Bull Salzburg, who their whole thing is that. Their whole thing is that we are a group building up towards one thing. Whereas for Manchester City, the PFG is just one of many of our investments.
Look at, is it Nonside? None? I don't want to say the right name for it. And United. and obviously United. Now, I know, haven't they got a young 17, 18-year-old kid they're all talking about over there? And there's been rumours of United getting him. Because obviously they've got Sir Jim now. But that's okay because it's United.
It just doesn't make sense, the outrage to me of why people... like you said before, man, it's jealousy, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah, it's mad. It's utter jealousy and something that we can't win with. It baffles me. I mean, it's like the Haaland stuff. You buy Haaland for 55 million release clause, but he's got to be on £1 million a week. And we're hiding wages behind doors and under the couch and everything else that we're doing for him. It's just, it baffles me completely. I mean, Chelsea, how much have Chelsea spent and all the dodgy dealings they've done? or alleged dodgy dealings they've done. And they weren't they one of the first clubs in this country to start this multi-club ownership, because they even had to change the loan rules to stop that happening.
Oh yeah.
Because Chelsea had 1,500 players out on loan all over.
Yeah, they did. They had so many loan players out.
And you're like,
there's a limit now, isn't there, on how many players that you can loan out.
And that's because Chelsea wanted to do it. What we're doing is we're making the Premier League better. You just said it, Jordan. Palmer, Chelsea. All the players that, Douglas Luiz, Aston Villa.
Pedro Porro.
Porro.
Pedro Porro at Spurs, yeah.
Go through Europe. A lot of the top teams are made up of ex-City players.
Yeah, look at Brahim Diaz is at Real Madrid.
Jadon Sancho.
Jadon Sancho.
You know what I mean?
It's wild. It's wild. There's City players everywhere that are making it big. That's because that's why our academy as well. It's not just players come to the City academy, right, and the CFG, because yes, their main goal will be to play for Manchester City. Does that necessarily happen all the time? No. But the main goal is to play for Manchester City because we're a very successful team. We're the best team in Europe. We're the best team in the world, in my opinion. So, of course, they're going to want to play for Manchester City. But when that doesn't happen, they're still getting great career paths where they can go on elsewhere. Alish Garcia, who was at our club ages ago, I think he's like 28 now. He's at Girona. He's smashing it for Girona. And it's wild.
I remember him coming in on his debut. Ben Mee,
yeah.
There's so many. Like you said, Trafford.
Kieran Trippier.
Trippier. Even the one that I liked and nobody else did. Fullback. Left back. Or was it PSV? What's it called?
Angelino.
Yeah. There's so many we've been through. If you look at that do you remember, 10 years ago when we first won the FA Cup Youth Cup? You look at that 11 that played Chelsea, and they've all gone on and become top footballers. Lavia has had one season at Southampton and went for 60-odd million into Chelsea and was wanted by Liverpool. And he kicked one ball for Manchester City in one game.
Yeah.
And looked like Bambi on ice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not. It baffles me. It really does.
How is it our fault at the same time? How is it our fault? You said it in the chat yesterday, Martin, the quote from Khaldoon. You can't judge us on other people's business, basically, whatever it was, the actual quote from it is. What Khaldoon said. It's not our fault that people are bidding this much money for Romeo Lavia. It's not our fault that Burnley want to pay 25 million for James Trafford. It's not our fault that Chelsea have gone and spent 40 million pound on Cole Palmer. We don't make it. You do these things.
We got blamed for FFP, and we were the ones who told everyone not to vote for it.
I know.
And we got blamed for it.
Yeah.
What? I do not understand. It is, in a way I'm laughing about it now. Because, Hugh, you'll know this, being on the Big Six. They'll tell everyone that we are irrelevant and they don't care about us. But all they do is talk about us. They're in so much denial, it is unreal. A lot of them need to go and seek counselling. I think Steve said it yesterday. Set up a helpline for them, whatever we can do. Because there's issues going on. There really is now. They go to bed hugging the "We Hate Manchester City" pillows. I don't get it. They're crying. Have we hurt them that much? But when it's like this. Oh, Farmers League. Sorry, United won 8 out of the first 11 Premier Leagues. Wasn't a Farmers League then. 7 teams, only 7, have won the Premier League in 32 years. And take Blackburn and Leicester out, that's 1 apiece. So 5 have won it in 30 years. But we're making it a Farmers League.
Even if you look at the English First Division since it became both Premier League and beforehand, you're looking at United with 21 league championships and Liverpool with 20.
That they brag about.
That's 41 league championships between 2 clubs. 41. That's absolutely outrageous. And you can kind of bring FFP into that conversation, where they're told FFP is brought in to protect clubs from destroying themselves, which I think is a massive conversation, and it's absolutely crazy. How can you tell astute businessmen and women that we're protecting you from yourself? We're stopping you ruining your own business, even though you're a very accomplished business person in your own right. But there only really is a handful of teams. Like, what are people trying to say? If Manchester City weren't as good as they are, 20 teams would compete for the Premier League season in, season out. Absolutely not. Because once you get past kind of 5th and 6th place, or the traditional sort of 5th and 6th place, nobody else is really competing for a Premier League. Why? Because they can't spend. Why? Because they're not allowed to spend what they wish to spend. You see,
that will never change, by the way. That will never change. This fallacy of FFP, because there's a rumor tonight about a meeting, I don't know if you've heard about it, that they're going to bring in the UEFA rule of 70% on your revenue.
Oh, is it?
So it's still going to suit the mega rich anyway.
Yeah.
It ain't going to help Everton or Newcastle on 70% revenue because they don't make revenue. There's no way around it. The boat went. It went in 1992 when the Premier League came in. We got in before the drawbridge. Sorry.
Yeah. We brought out, and to do that, we brought our own chair. We weren't invited to that table. We brought our own chair to that, and now we're sat there.
They want our COO. They want our. If we said to them, sorry, Arno, he's on the market. He wants a new club. Are you telling me 19 other clubs wouldn't want him in? Or if Pep was there, it's like this argument, the debate when they go, Pep's only ever been at Bayern, Barca and Sarah. Oh, so he's got to go to Huddersfield Town to prove his worth, has he? It's a nonsense argument.
Yeah, it's mad.
Top managing directors and everything else go to top companies because they know the worth. Mm-hmm. They don't go to the corner shop. I know that's really harsh and unfair, but they don't go to a corner shop and take over that. They go to Costco and take over that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just life. I'm sorry. It's harsh and it's not fair, but I keep saying it. Stop blaming us. Caldoon's, as he said, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And they shouldn't. But then everyone wants the Super League and everyone wants this, that, and the other. And I don't get it. It baffles me the way other teams and managers bang on about things they know nothing about because they pick up a newspaper and they read the back page or they open Twitter and read a line.
Yeah. And then they become experts on the topic, don't they? You get a lot of experts.
Instantly.
Steve said it perfectly yesterday. It's like people like, little Ian who's 12 sat in his bedroom in Wales and then becomes an expert because he's, no. I heard someone yesterday say, Bruno Fernandes was a better midfielder than Kevin De Bruyne. I'm telling you, people need help. They need help. Honestly, we should all get together and set up a little helpline for him. Honestly,
we should start our own phone and showing it from. We'll let them ring in and tell
us
the problems.
Get them to come and vent for 20 minutes.
Got a couple of member chats here. Big up Nathan for the 13 months. He says they hate the fact that they want to be like us. They label us cheats, but would sell their left nut to be in our position. I know. I mean, like Manchester United are a great case study for this because they're one of the main clubs and fan bases to call us, oil clubs and cheaters since we were taken over. They were on their knees for Sheikh Jassim when that was becoming a thing. They were absolutely twerking for what they called oil money. Understandably, Sheikh Jassim is obviously a very accomplished businessman, and I have no doubt that if he got Manchester United, he would have improved the place. And then B, they sign it or they acquire Omar Barada, and then they're celebrating like the time they celebrated Ronaldo. So you want ownership like ours, you want our COO, but you also want to call us cheats and try and degrade us. Which way do you want to have it? It blows my mind. I just find it funny. I find it really funny. You got Benno, big up Benno, man. 18-month member. He says Simon Jordan was asked about it yesterday. His reply: that lot just find loopholes, but blow smoke up Bowley's arse for finding contract loopholes. I've no time for Simon Jordan. I don't know. Do you? Either of you?
I don't know why City fans listen to talk shit.
Same. Talk shit. No idea.
They need to stop, honestly.
And don't they employ Mark Goldbridge? Isn't he on contract there?
Yeah, they've got Mark.
Yeah,
They've got Mark. I've not got a clue, and don't go to games.com. And they've got who's the other one?
Jamie O'Hara as well.
Rory Jennings.
They have Rory Jennings on as well, don't they? Yeah.
They'll have that guy on from Ireland next from Anfield Agenda. He'll have his own talk himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you could put them together and call them the Three Stooges, whatever you want. I'm not really that bothered, but
any organization that employs people like that, I'm not really taken seriously. I mean, I'd love to know what Simon Jordan means by they just find that lot just find loopholes. What sort of a statement is that to make? Elaborate, please, Simon Jordan. You're the one who
if you made that. You're opening yourself up to libel cases.
Yeah,
you're opening yourself up to legal. You cannot go on a will and go, yeah, they find loopholes.
Yeah, it's not.
Some of the wording they get away with it baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. This is a guy who took over Palace and went bankrupt. You have no room to talk about anything.
Maybe he should have found some loopholes and they wouldn't have gone bankrupt.
Maybe he should have found himself a bit more money. He wouldn't have gone bankrupt.
Big up for the member chats, Benno and Nathan. Guys, there's over 350 in the building. Make sure you've hit a like on the stream. It helps people find the channel, and subscribe if you're new around here. Also, bro, would you stick a link to Mancunian Way in the chat just for people there if they want to subscribe to Mancunian Way? I massively advise that. Fantastic channel, and we appreciate
it. A bit of fourth wall there because I've got no green screen on.
So yeah, the multi-club ownership thing, it's catching a lot of strays right now because it's Manchester City. I also think, and I said this last night, and I think it's very relevant, is that it's become very trendy and topical to make negative connotation content on Manchester City because we know the wider population likes that content. The wider population has a negative attitude towards Manchester City. It's almost like, you know, Martin, from when you were younger, you would have just absolutely hated Manchester United because they were the palace, they were the shiny thing, they were the wow factor, and everyone hated them because they're winning everything. We are that organization now. So people, if you make a TikTok or you make a video like Goldberg does, Man City have done this or they've done that, it's getting bare clicks. It's getting loads of clicks. It's making money. It's become very trendy and fun and easy content to make to hate on Manchester City. Most of these people making that content without any real knowledge. It's just a great title. It's a great thumbnail. And if you come on and speak negatively about Manchester City, you're going to get the comments full of internet lawyers and internet geniuses telling you that you're right when they actually haven't a fucking clue.
No. But I thought we were irrelevant and Icolo City, but we create clicks. Everton get charged. We trend number 1 on Twitter. But nobody cares about us. Nobody cares when we win titles. I mean, you just said that about United. I will say one thing. Yes, everyone hated United. 100%. I don't think they ever hated him like this. There's a lot more venom in what goes on.
That's the word I was going to use.
There's a lot more venom and nastiness with it. And I think there's alternative motives behind it because our owners are from the wrong part of the world for a lot of people.
A lot of it's political.
Yeah, it's very political. It's a lot of it's not even about football. Mm-hmm. And that's the real sad thing here. Is that you never hear outside of Manchester City, you never hear what City have done to East Manchester. Mm-hmm. Listen, I live 5 minutes down the road from the old gasworks. If I took a picture when I was a kid of East Manchester then and what it's like now, it's like night and day. But no one talks about it. No one talks about City, how big City and community has grown. Mm-hmm. How everything they've done, they've put homeless people into homes, giving people jobs. But nothing's ever talked about it. And the goalposts move every year. When he first come for the first 5 years, it was he'll get bored, it's a toy, he'll be gone in 5 years. Mm-hmm. Then 10 years, then it's he can't, they just move the goalposts all the time. And if it isn't from the Premier League, it's from UEFA. The only person who hasn't really gone on the taxes properly yet is FIFA. That'll be the next thing that'll come at us. We haven't been charged by FIFA properly yet. That'll be the next big thing. Mm-hmm. It's I just don't understand it. Well, I do. Jealousy is an evil mistress. Jealousy is evil. Is an evil mistress, and that's what it is. It's down to jealousy. But what do you know? What upsets them the most? 99% of City fans, if this all disappeared tomorrow and we went back, they know we wouldn't be as broken-hearted as what probably a lot of theirs would be. They know at the Etihad Stadium there'd be nearly 60,000 people stood in there if we were playing Blackpool on the opening day.
Fact.
They don't like that. They hate that thought.
Yeah, because they want rid of us completely.
And they know we'll be back.
Yeah.
They'll never win. They'll never win. Sheikh Mansour doesn't go away. You know, Puma and Etihad don't, suddenly don't just stop sponsoring us if we get done. Nothing changes. We'll go down for a couple of years and come back and we'll start all over again. Thanks very much. How embarrassing could that be? Is that we could get expelled. I won't say relegated, but don't think we will. We could get expelled and we'll probably win the league before United ever get anywhere near it again.
Yeah,
that would be our biggest achievement. That would be the biggest.
I mean, big Steve last night said we'll get relegated down to League Two. All these players that are on loan that City home, we'll get them all back. Your Haalands and that will sell for absolutely major cash, and then we'll work our way back up from League Two. He said all in time to win the league again before United do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, as funny as it is to laugh at that, you could actually see that happening.
And they'll probably sack another 4 managers in between, sign another 300 Instagram followers and players, because that's where they get their players on Instagram.
I think the nature of our ownership and our board, from everything that they've put out since we were slammed down with these charges, it's just pure resilience and pure, like, we're going to defy absolutely everything that you throw at us and we're going to beat you at all costs. So you think, look, if worst comes to worst, we were sent down, there'd be a massive hunger from both the club and the fan base to let's get back up through these leagues, let's get back to the Premier League, and let's really, hit them where it hurts, because you thought you had rid of us. But you listed off, actually, I'll do these super chats first, and then I'll go into what I was going to say. Big up Roberto's got 2 super chats here. He says, big up Hugh, JP, and Martin. Shout out from AZ. That's Arizona, I am assuming. Big up all the Arizona people out there. Let all these scrubs cry more because we're the best ranked club in the world. Add 100 more charges. Fuck the world, FTW.
Oh yeah, to prevent. Yeah, true. Can we fuck the world or for the win, innit? So it's one of them two. I know I use it for the win, not fuck the world, but but I get that.
City till I die. City Football Group till I die.
Yes,
very nice. Exactly. And he's got another one here saying, also fly in 4th for the Manchester Derby, 3-3. Hope to see you Blues. I'll be there.
Roberto, mate.
We will be there. We will be there. So look out for us, Roberto. If you see me or Martin will be at it as well, no doubt. And then Jody Porter will be on it.
I told you I'm going back to Chelsea. It's easier. I'm going back to Stamford Bridge, mate. It's where we all come from.
Pull out the dust off them Chelsea shirts.
Trouble is, can't go back to Chelsea now because they're crap. Where'd you go now?
Oh, what we're gonna do? I've heard Girona are top of their league. We'll go there.
No, you're playing red though. Still stop playing.
No.
Let me download Duolingo, start learning some Spanish, man. Maybe Real Madrid's where I need to go because they don't seem to ever get in trouble for anything. Anyway, Martin, you listed off all the great things that City do on a community level and outside of football and context, and you're totally right to raise them and how people don't give City enough credit for them because you don't see many football clubs, if any, worldwide putting in the same effort community-wise. But even on a footballing level, which is something that people should really know more about and pay more attention to, we're offering so many young footballers actual careers in a world where we're always talking about footballers, getting dropped from academies and having nowhere to go and they're heartbroken and their mental health and all these, we have heard awful stories about players really suffering after they get dropped from academy because they have no alternative, there's nothing to fall back on. The unique thing we can offer with a multi-club ownership is if you don't cook the grade of Manchester City, we have 13, 14 other clubs worldwide that I'm sure plenty of them will be happy to have your services. We are making football careers that, as we've all agreed, is expanding throughout world football. The knock-on effect is whoever doesn't make it in the CFG group, they seem to find a career elsewhere. And we don't get enough respect for that. It's just become too novel to throw shade at Manchester City. I don't see it going away anytime soon. I don't, and that's because I don't see us going away anytime soon. I don't see the 115 charges taking us down, or at least to the level that people seem to think it will. I don't see Pep leaving as soon as people would like to believe. I don't see Haaland leaving as soon as what people like to believe. And I don't see Sheikh Mansour going anywhere. So people are just going to have to put up with it or shut up with it.
That terrifies everyone, though. That's exactly what they don't want. That terrifies people because they go, "Oh yeah, City's still going to be here."
Aguero was going, Yaya was going, Company was there, David Silva was using us for a stepping stone to Real Madrid, and Kevin De Bruyne was disappearing after 2 years. I've heard all this, and when they've sat there and done 10 years, you know, and
it's the exact same with Haaland now. Haaland's just the next one that they're throwing it at.
It's like the history thing.
He'll go after 2 years. He'll be at Real Madrid. All this, it's like, where are you getting this from?
You change it.
It's copium, isn't it? That's what it is. It's that we can't have anything good and it lasts. So for Haaland, he's the next one. He's the next one. He's the next thing that's good and it won't last.
Sorry, I've got to do this. Sorry, I don't know how to do this. Is he in front of is he at Stamford Bridge?
Is he at Stamford Bridge there? Yeah, he is.
Calling up cheating wankers. You see what I mean about people in glass houses?
That's why I brought it up. See a guy wearing a suit and tie, a shirt and tie, standing in Stamford Bridge.
Huge, but in 1992, I had like 12,000 people in Stamford Bridge.
It was a car park.
Exactly. Southampton had bigger attendances than Chelsea back in the early 90s. Give over. Let's not play this. I ain't some Johnny come lately. I was there back then. I remember. Showing my age. Sorry. No, it's just, you're right. No matter what we do, there'll always be something wrong.
Yeah.
And
so it is.
They'll be crying to get him back. It's
not going to change. So I advise people to just get used to it as opposed to hope it's going to change. It's not. Even if the 115 charges, what's going to happen is we'll get done on the 115 charges. If we're cleared of it all, we won't get cleared of not cooperating, just like the UEFA case. And then people still say, "Oh, you're guilty." Like people confuse the UEFA case and go, "You were found guilty. You were found guilty." No, we were found guilty of not cooperating, not what we got kicked out for. People always get that confused still to this day, and I don't understand it. So it's just going to happen again. This Premier League one, the exact same, and we'll always be called cheats. We're done now. We've been painted with that brush. You just got to get used to it. Focus on your own club. You know what I mean? If someone comes on this chat and calls us cheats, you think I care? I don't care, mate. You can call us what you want. We'll just carry on winning things. You can waste all your time calling us cheats.
If you send it as a super chat, it ruins my day. Just saying.
Yeah, facts. That'll get me depressed.
It's like the fans part with no fans. But as I tell everyone, we've got the record attendance in the UK still to this day. Don't mean Tottenham at Wembley. Let's take the Tottenham at Wembley that they didn't own because that wasn't their ground, they were renting it. We broke the record against Stoke City. It was 85,000 or something like that. I know it was, a generation ago, but it's like there's no history. First team in England to win a European trophy and a domestic trophy in the same season. In 69.
Mate, we won an FA Cup before Chelsea was founded.
We won an FA Cup before Arsenal was founded. We had 1 million people there.
It's mad. It's so mad. It's so mad.
This is the problem. It's about knowing, and they don't want to look at it. It's like when they say Sean Goat is your legend. Oh, sorry, because Bowley or somebody were just like, Tom, Dick, and Harry from down the road. Talking England internationals.
Because they want to keep with the City were founded in 2008. We weren't good pre the Sheikh era. They got no time for that.
No, they haven't. It's a joke. It really is, sadly, but there's not a lot you can do. You just have to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Keep winning.
I don't lose sleep over it.
No, as you shouldn't. But I find it funny the whole thing where we can't win. If we're found innocent, it's you paid them off brown paper bags. If you're found guilty, it's we knew it, we knew it, we knew you were guilty all along. So I said on my podcast last night with Joe that when we get found innocent and when the brown paper bag accusations come in, remember the old bananas, Martin, on Main Road? Yeah, I want the whole South stand to bring brown paper bags to the South stand and start waving.
Oh yeah, I remember him in the kit packs.
In
the old
brown paper bags, man.
On the old kit packs now, when you stood up and didn't end up anywhere. I was like, we all took that out. Kit packs last stand against Chelsea. That was amazing. 1994, that amazing.
Need to do a show with Steve Martin to tell those stories, man.
I'm trying. Steve's a busy man.
He's hard to get a hold of.
Steve's a busy man. We are trying to sort something so we can talk about the Main Road days.
Big up Brad Swanson for becoming a channel member.
Yes,
absolute legend. He actually also became a member of my personal channel last night, so he's really showing support to
big up Brad, mate.
The community, man. Good guy, Brad. He's also here with a super chat. Says, yes, lads, what have we done this time? We've built a very good business model, Brad. Essentially is what happened. We've built a sustainable, successful business model.
Oh, someone's seen the emails in the chat. Got another lawyer. Got another lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. Ask all these rivals if they've read the Cass case. None of them have. And I don't expect them to, because they're not going to sit and read a 99 page document. That doesn't concern them. But if they read that, they would learn and educate themselves on facts and not what gets written about in social media. How many times do you hear that, City have cheated the system and they've got third party ownership when all that got proven at Cass? But
big up.
People don't want to put the time in afterwards, innit? They don't want to do the homework on it.
No, they want clicks because
they don't show their workings out. They don't show their workings out. They just come with the answer, and the teacher says that's not sufficient. You need to show your workings out. Big up Avik for becoming a channel member.
Avik, mate.
Welcome to the Xtra Club. We need to start making some more Xtra Club content.
Yeah, extra content, but that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got a super chat here from Mucho. He says, how does relegating City with its stars help the Premier League when they've been atop of its group within the last 10 years? Outsider USA looking in. I've spoken about this a lot, and I've mentioned the big six, and people actually just don't want to hear it because they know it's true that the Premier League is a product. It's a product at the end of the day that we want to sell to sponsors, we want to sell to investors, we want the eyes of the world on the Premier League. Now, if you want to sell a product, you need to have nice things in the product. You need the shiniest shoe on the shelf, the brand new pair of Jordans on the shelf that everyone wants. And as of right now, Manchester City, whether you like it or not, like it or lump it, are the shiniest within the product. We are the best thing the Premier League has to offer. We have Pep Guardiola, a fantastic stadium. We've got all the best players, and we win all the best trophies. Do you think the Premier League will be happy to part ways with their best product like that?
We all know what the accused CEO they've got to prove, and they've got to have evidence to the hilt, and that's why Cass didn't have the evidence. I know people all think it's about bribe and everything else. Page 78 of Cass, page 78, read it all. They were a fair market value. A Salat, A Doug, all fair market value. It's all on there, written in black and white.
They've got a mountain to climb to find us guilty. I don't know where they're going to pull the evidence from either. So,
out their ass.
Out their ass. Is it? The thing is, though, I'm firmly in that the Premier League wouldn't want to let go one of their prized assets because of that the sale kind of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you say, it is a product that they're trying to get out. We are producing very good football and we're winning things, European competitions now as well, which is all good for the exposure of the Premier League. But the Premier League have come to their decision on the 115 charges. That is their decision. They've not decided on what would happen if we are found guilty, but the Premier League have found us guilty of that. They have concluded that they found us guilty of that. Now it's going to an independent board because City refused. So it seems to me that the Premier League are very much happy with parting ways with Manchester City. Either that or they're happy to knock us down a few pegs because they've already decided on City's fate. I mean, we are already guilty in their eyes,
and that's why City won't cooperate.
That's what exactly.
Do you think it's a stitch up?
Yeah. Why is City going to cooperate with them when they've got their preconceived idea of whether we're guilty or not guilty?
Listen, it's like I've said this 1,000 times. Someone knocks on your door, police officer, and says, "I'm coming in your house. I'm searching it. You got a warrant? No. Got any evidence? No. You're going to let them in and let them have a rummage around? Or are you going to lawyer up and get them sorted out?"
Because at the end of the day,
if there's nothing to hide, you let them in.
There's a difference between investigating. Basically, they're looking for you to be guilty. They're looking to find you guilty. They're not looking with neutral eyes. They're looking for something to pull you up on. So why would you cooperate with that? Like, why would you go, "Oh yeah, come in. You go look for something to find me guilty. I'll just wait here for you to find something." You're just not going to do that. It just doesn't.
I mean, by the way, if we get found guilty, they're going to strip all our trophies. Does that mean we can have Lavia back? I mean, all these youngsters we've sold around the world, then, do we get them back because it's all dodgy dealings then? So does Palmer come back? Lavia come back?
Also, do they just assume that our model and our business just collapses entirely? We are still a very, if we get sent down to League 1 or League 2, whatever, we will still attract players from way above that level with all due respect because they know we will get back to the top. They know that we have competent enough people in charge to get Manchester City right back to where they want and where they need to be. So by sending us down to League 1 and 2, it's a temporary slap in the wrist. Because I have full faith that we come back up. I'd welcome it though. I've said this and I've laughed about it. I wouldn't mind a few trips to places I haven't been. I've been to every ground in the Premier League multiple times now. Send me somewhere new, man. Let me try some dodgy pies and pints.
No, you don't. Trust me.
I do, Martin. I do.
No, I mean, when I went, it was the old Layer Road and, Bootham Crescent and all them. Boundary Park. Jesus, no. I'm not going back. I mean, some of the lower league teams have now got nice stadiums, haven't they?
You've got too used to the custody life of Premier League football, Martin. You were slagging me for being in the box a few weeks ago.
Listen, I don't listen. I've said to everyone, if City were playing on the field out back, I'd be there watching them. I don't care. I'm not bothered. I watch City for City. The trophies to me will always be the dressing on the outside. They're lovely. They're nice. But I'm not here for that. I didn't become a City fan for trophies, believe me. They weren't winning trophies when I became a City fan. So it's what it is. But because I know this era will end at some point. As all eras will end. Mm-hmm. But I'm just sick to death of being blamed for irresponsible ownership by your football clubs.
Fact.
Now, Liverpool fans, yes, they have a go at FSG. Some United fans have a go at Glazers, but the trouble is they fall for the propaganda because what the Glazers do is give them all a brand new present if it's Casemiro or Ronaldo or whoever else, and then they all shut up again for 6 months. And all the Norwich City scarves go away again. Yeah,
they put the zebra pants away. Save it.
Exactly, they all go away. And it amazes me. It amazes me completely. Even Arsenal, they've had a go at their owners. I think we're the only fan base who's not had a go at the owners yet.
Yeah, that's true. Everything. That's true. True that.
Listen, I keep saying it. Jealousy is a cruel mistress, and they need to get on with it because nothing's going to change. They're not going to stop the Savio deal. It will be a fair market value. And again, you had the chance 2 months ago when you went in to discuss PIF in Newcastle to stop that happening. And you all voted in favour of that being allowed.
Absolutely. Guys, still 350 in the building. Make sure you hit the like button on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you're new. For the last sort of 10 minutes, I want to talk about the new blue card. The blue card. They are once again changing the landscape, or trying to change the landscape of football as we know it. This is from City Extra's Twitter. Big up Freddie Pie. Breaking: blue cards are to be introduced in professional football as part of sin bin trials to be announced on Friday. The move will see players removed from the field for 10 minutes if they commit a cynical foul or show dissent towards a match official. And then top-tier competitions will be excluded from initial testing of blue cards in case protocols require further refinement, but elite trials could begin this summer. That may include the FA Cup and Women's FA Cup, with the FA considering volunteering. So we're looking at the prospect of sin bins, rugby-esque. Obviously, rugby has a yellow card as a sin bin. In GA8 here in Ireland, we have what's known as the black card. A black card, initially when it was brought in, was a sin bin. I'm not for it. I'm actually totally against it in football as we know it, because it's going to add a total new dimension to debates and grey areas. Well, you only won this game because so-and-so was sent off for 10 minutes. And I think it's going to be a mess if it sees the light of day.
It's another thing for the refs to get wrong. It adds a little bit more decision making in there. I think it's a red, blue, or yellow. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's a bit much, man. It's a bit much. Fine.
It's a joke.
I get. They've wanted sin bins for ages. They've wanted it for ages. This is the way of introducing it. I know that what's it called? Alexander Serafin, whatever his name is, the Champions League Donny. He's come out and he's like, no, load of bullshit. We're not having that in the Champions League or the Euros. So it's going to be trialled from next season in the FA Cup and the women's. It's not going to be in the Premier League next season. It's only going to be trialled in those games and not in the top games either. It's going to be trialled basically like lower from next season onwards. But UEFA Champions League, they're saying we're not having it in Euros or Champions League. So again, we're introducing rules that isn't cross-board. It's just us doing it differently. Do you know how like VAR? UEFA already had their version of VAR working, and Premier League was like, no, we're going to do it our way. We're going to do it our own way to make it different.
Yeah,
so that's why you have this. Yeah, that's it. So we have our own way of doing things, and it keeps it separate from that. That's why when you watch Champions League football, there are different ways to implement the same rules as there is to the Premier League, and it's going to be the same with blue cards. We're going to be watching games going in Champions League games going, oh, that was the Prem. That would be a blue card.
And what is it? If you get two blue, can you get ultimate blue cards?
Oh, wait, no. So it gets even better, right? I guess even more fuckery. So if you get a yellow and a blue card, that could lead to a red card, apparently. If you get two blue cards, a red card. Do you know what I mean? They're combining fucking colours now.
And how many people can go off at the same time then?
I know.
Just say a team surrounds the ref.
Oh yeah, and everyone gets a blue card. You got Edison in net, just like
blue. 5 players gone. Under the rules, you've abandoned the game out.
Yeah. Green card, surely. Yeah.
And then the next step is, so if that equates to a red, 2 blues and a yellow, blue and a yellow goes to a red, but it's only in the FA Cup. That means, but then you're out of the FA Cup. Where does your ban come?
It's so confusing.
Where are we putting the ban then? Is the ban going on? Well, in 3 years' time, we'll put that ban in because you got 3 blue cards 3 years ago. But it's only a trial. Sorry, this is people trying to mess with things the wrong way. This is trying to get the referees respect. There's one way you get it done. You mic a ref up. That's it.
Yeah, Did you ever see that Australian game where the referee, I think he's in the Premier League now, actually, that same Australian referee. Is he called Jared? He was mic'd up for a match in an Australian game, and it worked so well. The clarity that you had with what was going on the pitch was just so evident. Now, obviously, some stuff gets said on football pitches that we don't hear. But Jared Gillett, however you say his name. I think that is the perfect way There you go. Anything there. Make the refs' mics audible first. That should be the next. Yeah. If you want to improve the Premier League for the better, that should be the next implementation that goes into the game. Let us know what the referees are saying, so then we can understand the decisions that they're making as well.
Their argument
is reds and yellows right. So where are we going with the blue?
That's what I mean. You're adding another thing into the mix that they're just going to fuck up. Especially this color coded. Do you know what I mean? Mixing and matching, reds, blues and yellows, and I've just confirmed, by the way. I've just checked it as well, and it is 2 blues is a red and a blue and a yellow is a red. So 2 yellows would be a red card, a blue and a yellow, and 2 blues all equal.
Where does the ban come into place then?
Then yeah, how long is a 2 blue red card ban for?
How many blues equals a ban?
So hang on. Is it coming into is it being trialled by the Premier League or by the FA?
It's been trialled by the FA into the FA. So
the Premier League have nothing to do with this then?
I think they're keeping it. Basically, they're looking at it. They're letting it be trialled in the FA Cup first and the Women's League first, and then we're gonna go and make a decision on yes, we keep it or not keep it.
The FA don't need you to vote it. In the Premier League, you'd need all the teams to vote that ruling.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's why they're going. That's why they're saying let the
politics in this.
Yeah, let the FA Cup run with it. We'll get people used to it in the FA Cup.
117 is a blue card.
Yeah, when people then go, oh yeah, we like that, and they show it in full work, then they'll introduce it in the Prem and apply it to all teams. Because then they have the product in front of you, and they can say to all 20 teams, "What do you think of this?"
I mean, they're changing the VAR, aren't they? Next year, they're going to make it where the referee, you're going to hear the referees. So you know, when when the referees go to the monitors, they watch it, you're going to hear that. So you're going to hear the talk through. That's what they're talking about now with explaining VAR, because the same people within the grounds never know what goes on.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
So they're saying that's going to go audio around the ground, so you can hear him talking to people. But then that's
a positive step. That's a good move. That is a good move. But blue
card's not needed. I mean, you're going to change the sport with a blue card because you're going to change just individual moments that would have happened to making them not happen. Like there is an art to tactical fouls. Like, you know, it's the dying embers of the game and someone's attacking and then the defensive midfielder will hack someone down on purpose. It's a yellow card. It's a justified yellow card. That's not now going to be a blue card. So-and-so player will be sent off. And there's going to be that gray area of what constitutes a blue card. After every game where there's a blue card, you're going to have people saying that is a blue card. That's not a blue card. It's just, you're doing way too much. I agree with
it'll change the game as well, Hugh. Because how does a manager manage for a scenario where for 10 minutes you may lose 1 or 2 players, because then you're going to change your tactics, and then when that player comes back, revert back to your old tactics. Because you're not just going to 10 men for, say, something like now, someone gets sent off in the 60th minute. You'll see a manager, 30 minutes, right, we're going to tighten up or whatever. Can't just tighten up for 5 or 10 minutes. You're going to change that. You're going to confuse players. You're going to confuse. I don't know where we're going with it.
Also, I think the refs mic'd up thing is the way to go, but their argument to that for years has been, oh, well, there's too much foul language, and you know you'll hear all this kind of stuff on the TV. They're not realizing that if you mic the refs up, the players aren't gonna be as abusive or as foul languaged as they have been previously, because you know they'll get in trouble for that. So it would have a positive effect. I think you're gonna mic up the referees.
What happens if it's in the 88th minute? Is that it? Are they going for a bath?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no! You'll serve your next 8 or 7 or 8 minutes in the beginning of the next match. You'll carry it on.
In Ireland, in the GAA, I think it's the black card is essentially what the blue in Ireland is what the blue card is going to be in England, and the rules of the black card kind of changed. I believe if it's anybody from Ireland is in the chat, they'll remind me. Originally, a black card meant a forced substitution. So if a player got a black card, he was sent off, and you were forced to bring on a substitute for him. And then I think it became he sin bin for 10 minutes. How would you feel about a forced substitution?
Nah. I think it's just weird, isn't it? A forced sub.
Yeah. Are we building sin bins as well? Is it going to be a sin box, like a penalty box?
Yeah, they go and stand in. And then they get a yellow card for leaving your sin bin.
Because I don't mean this in the wrong way, right? Because they can't go to the dugout because managers could start using that tactically then. Say there's a player being rinsed for like 20 minutes and he's trying to get a message to him and he goes, right, take a blue card so you get over here and we can have a chat for 10 minutes. He can sit there and pass a load of instructions away to his mates, to the player who goes back on and goes, right, You're going to influence games. So you're going to have to put them in a sin box or send them away. Otherwise,
in rugby, they sit in a separate dugout. They sit in a chair on their own, in the naughty step.
In the naughty corner, yeah.
Imagine that in front of 80,000 people. Have the piss taken out.
You're going to get rinsed. You're going to get
like, 5 chairs. And then how many...
what happens if someone's in the sin bin when you get carded? I mean, is there space for more than one of these in the sin bin?
Yeah, there is.
I'll squeeze in on one little chair. Move up, lad. It's not like I'll get in on. Hey, I was sitting on knee. How many have we got here? On shoulders.
Isn't that dangerous for the players, by the way? Because if they're in for 10 minutes, they're in the flow of the game. They'll start warming down. They'll start cooling down the body. And then they're going straight back into the action again. Because I'm presuming they won't be allowed to warm up during this period.
I think you can.
You're going to get more injuries. See what I mean? They're not thinking about this. They're really.
It will bring a new meaning to Jordy's getting the fucking bin. Yeah, it will. At least it'll make sense. When I say it doesn't make sense now.
You'll have to have a score and then a sin bin count and then
how many are in the sin bin?
Rodri will never finish a game. He'll never get 90 minutes.
He'll never do a 90 minutes. Never.
It's a mad prospect. I don't know. I personally don't see it landing properly. Do you?
I mean, we're going to see it next year. It's confirmed we're going to see the introduction of it next year in the FA Cup, but not in the top games. Apparently, top tier games they're calling it.
Do you know what it is?
So we will see it. So I'm interested to see how they implement it. I'm not in favor of it though.
Do you know what this is all about for me? It's all about because they are terrified of that Super League so much that they are trying to change the Premier League around to make it more entertaining, more attractive, more look what could happen. And I just think they're trying to change things that don't need changing. Or they're trying to change the wrong things. There's bigger problems within our game than a bleeding blue card and a sin bin for 10 minutes. Sorry, there's major more problems than that. Like
I don't watch football.
Referees.
I don't watch football and think, you know what we could do with here? A sin bin. I don't think I've ever watched football and thought that. Ever watched a game of football and gone, you know what? He could do with a sin bin him. Get him off.
He needs a cooler. He needs to calm it down for fun.
Get him out, but specifically 10 minutes because that's what will definitely sort him out. That and then get him back on, allow him back. I mean, I've just never watched that.
I don't know, man. This season, Rodri could have done with a cool down a couple of times.
yeah.
I mean, that's my point, though. You'd never see him. Yeah. Can you imagine? Honestly, I start having better hamstring injuries in the first 10 minutes of coming on and everything else. That's his hamstring gone, grind's gone.
It's I wonder who'd get the quickest sin bin card. You know what I mean? Who misses the first full 10 minutes of a match?
I'm telling you,
it'd be Rodri, wouldn't it?
It would have either been Fernandinho, but now Rodri.
Yeah, it would have been Fernandinho, definitely.
Saying that, Rodri's never had this, since he's gone on to this 3 yellows away from a 2-game ban, he's not getting yellows anymore. He's stopped.
I know. He's fixed up. MCFC Lads here says 3 blue cards for one team and the opposition goal shrinks by 50%.
Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it reminds me of? You know what? FIFA or FC 24 when you do that, where you can do different rules.
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah, 1 goal's like
maybe
times
you score
2.
a goal, it takes your player out.
Yeah.
Get rid of the offsides and that as well.
Someone's been playing a little bit too much FC 24, haven't they? Just a little bit too much. Mystery ball. Yeah, we'll be doing all sorts next.
That's it, mystery ball.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it pans out. But I reckon we'll park it there for the minute. The blue card, crazy, man. Yeah, I reckon we'll wrap it up there. Make sure to subscribe to the Mancunian Way. Could you put a link in the chat again for that, bro, when you get a chance? Martin's channel, doing good things over there. Help support him. We always massively appreciate him coming over here.
Live at 9.
Live at 9?
Live at 9.
Yeah, let's get that on a redirect. Everyone, it's going to go straight to Martin's channel, and you can go.
Talking Everton and Savio, and whether has the transfer policy changed? Seeing as we're just bringing in kindergarten kids now, just bringing in 18-year-olds all of a sudden now.
That's it. Yeah, we don't need those big Donny signings no more. I mean,
so
who needs experience?
This show will redirect you straight to Martin's show live at 9 p.m. Go over and hit the like button and subscribe over there. Show support to Martin. Like I said, we always massively appreciate his contributions over here. Subscribe to City Xtra if you're new around here. We're on the road to, is it 86K? I think we're only a couple of hundred of 86K now. So
get these 200K. Come on.
Someday, man. Someday we'll get 100K and we'll have a big party.
You want
the YouTube plaque? Come on.
Yeah, we're gonna have a party in Manchester, and that'll be like.
By the way, I'm saying this now live on air. I will never come on the hot one. Never ask. Never even bother.
Fuck. You're the person I was going to ask next. No, Big Steve is terrified of it, and I was like, on the Hot Ones video, I say at the end of it, I go, I think Martin will be up for it. On the actual video that we did, in that video at the end, I'm saying Martin will be well up for it.
Oh no, it would get you views because I would cry on the first one.
Well, there you go. You're going to do it.
I'd be like, no, I have no tolerance for spice.
There we go then. So Martin has just confirmed he's the next guest on Hot Ones. You heard it here first.
I'll do it, but trust me, it won't last long.
Yeah.
It's all part of the fun.
I mean, I had a terrible time the first time round, so I'm not necessarily looking forward to doing it again.
Daps for doing it. Where's you? You on it?
Yeah, he needs to do it, but
you can't even chicken out.
He's in a different country, innit? That's his excuse.
I'm overseas, Martin.
Get Freddie to sort the flight out. Come on.
Right, as soon as Hugh enters his country again, he's getting on it. The first thing he's getting done is Hot Ones.
I think I'm next over for the Manchester Derby that Sunday, but I'm not doing Hot Ones straight after Manchester Derby. You're mad. We win that game. I'll be out in town. That's where I'll be.
But yeah, listen.
Make sure you hit the like button on the stream. Myself and Jordan will be live tomorrow to preview Everton early Saturday morning, and then of course there'll be a watch along bright and early, 12:30 kickoff. So make sure you're there for all that. Enjoy the rest of your evening, people. Good night and God bless.